Hey Cancer, it's your Cosmic Auntie, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be your monthly reading. I am recording it in September, but it could find you at any time. So whenever it does find you, I hope that you're as well as you can be, and I'm really happy you're here. So please stay if you feel called to. And as you pay attention to the messages, always bounce them off your own inner knowing, your own inner guidance. You know yourself best, right? Your own intuition. And when a message resonates, you'll just know. And when it doesn't, you'll just know. Don't make anything fit. Never give your power away, okay? I want these readings to assist you in connecting deeper to your power, to your presence, to your natural authenticity. So yeah, welcome to the space. Cancer, it's really interesting because the visual I received while tuning the cards to your energy and meditating into the reading in the moment reminded me of a reading I did before, and I couldn't quite remember whose reading it was, and then I remember it's your opposite. It's Capricorn. So I already get the feeling that Capricorn's reading will have some messages for you perhaps, and if you feel called to go check out Capricorn's video, please feel free to do so. The image I received for you is this barbecue grill, and it was the action of like flipping a steak like with some tongs, and to the side was like a couple potatoes and then a skewer of vegetables. And Capricorn's image was a plate with each of those items appearing one at a time. And so I was like, okay, and I felt like I needed to lean energetically into that more and stay with this visual. And I heard you, Cancer, are the process and Capricorn is the result. And yeah, it was interesting. Well, let me see. It doesn't sound exactly like I felt and heard it. Let me just see if I get this right, because it really took me some time. It was like, oh, you are the action, Cancer, and Capricorn is the result, and everything. You both are the process. There's a process here. And when I lean into like the grill visual with you and I hear, you know, you're the action, there's this certain intention. And then with Capricorn, it was appearing one at a time. And they're the result. And their whole reading was super interesting. So I guess let's see what's coming up here, but feel free to go check out their reading, and I'm sure it'll weave into this. Okay, I've also been starting to introduce the decks because I feel like it's important. They are my tools, they are my treasure, they are sacred. So the oracle deck that I'll be using today is called the Lightworker Oracle. It's by Alana Fairchild, and I hope you enjoy from that deck. And then this deck is called the Tarot of the Light and Shadow. I'll show you the deck box. It's such a cool deck, and it's such an amazing tool to use when it comes to energy. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy. It's 2 full 78 card tarot decks, one for, you know, the light expression of energy, and then one for the shadow expression of energy. And I'll be interchanging in the reading light with external energy and shadow with internal energy. So I'd like to just make that known, so, you know, hopefully it won't be confusing when I do the reading. So let's see what's coming up for Cancer. Because, yeah, it's so interesting because it was the same skewer of vegetables and everything. And their reading was very much about putting a personal touch to something. There's also a wave of grief, processing grief. Yeah, and a new beginning. There's a couple specific messages that came through, like stepping into a family role of some sort that, you know, through the need, like either you've lost a loved one and or you're taking care of a loved one. There is also a message in Capricorn's reading about taking over a family business or being in, like, you know, possession of something that's like an heirloom or something like that. There was a, so if you feel connected to that, Capricorn, again, we have a message for you. Okay. So we've got the 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Serpents in the shadow deck is your inner child energy. Then we've got the World from the shadow deck in your subconscious. The Death card in your conscious position. The Devil in your heart space. The 2 of Pentacles in the past energy in the shadow deck. The 5 of Swords as your present energy, and then the King of Cups from the shadow deck in the future. The 2 of Cups in the blockages. The 10 of Pentacles in your strength. And then the 10 of Pentacles from the light deck as your advice. So Cancer. I feel, yeah, grief here. Change, you know, and that is, that causes, you know, that is connected with the grief process. Change can cause grief as well as new beginnings. It's raw. Change is super raw, and I feel like something very serious, you know, is occurring here, and I want to very much approach this reading with sensitivity and compassion, because I really do feel, yeah, so much depth and shifts and chaos, and mixed with like with the 10 of Pentacles here, just it's very family oriented. Some of you may have just recently lost like a family member, a loved one. I see, like, you know, the heart and the love is so, it's so hard to put into words, because I feel you, Cancer, like showing up and battling through this change, this ending, navigating it really, you know, with the 5 of Swords, there's a certain, you know, part of, there's a certain battle I sense here, and with it being in the shadow, from the shadow deck, I feel it really deep inside. And with the Death card above here in the conscious position, I sense that there's ways that you may be responding and needing to show up in your environment to deal with this change, this loss, whatever it is. Like, even if You know, some of you it may be a person, some of you it may be a job or a relationship. These are general, so if you're resonating with this energy, fill in your personal details yourself and you see where it resonates and how it sits and all of that stuff. So whatever it is very painful, and it has been very painful to navigate. I feel you are showing up and navigating it. And I heard fighting where you need to, and I don't feel that in a sense of like being like bad or anything. I feel like it's a sense of really fighting through a difficult transition, a difficult loss. And yeah, some of you, these relationships, if you have been out, you know, if you've navigated out of a relationship or a relationship has broken down in some way, this could be a very challenging connection. And I sense that for those of you who resonate with this, know that this is a better outcome. And with the King of Cups in your future position in the internal, it's like I've sensed that that's the fight. Is like really knowing that this is a better outcome and staying the course and showing up in the discomfort, battling certain and defending certain things, like learning how to, because sometimes like coming back home to yourself is rough. At most times it's rough. Like it's just there can be so much chaos with that, and to stay the course in the chaos, to be present in the chaos and to be curious about it is so profoundly beautiful from your energy. And also, like, I want to validate you if you're feeling that, like, there's with all of that curiosity, with staying the course, being present with yourself through this change, with your grief. You know, I see the 10 of Pentacles here side by side, which shows me that there's a foundation in which you rest upon, and that is family, friends, community, certain resources and material things, whether you have people who are able to share those things with you, or you are have those needs met, and are able to share. There's a sense of just, strong community, strong family, strong relationships, strong connections in your physical environment, and spirit is really, really encouraging you to keep and just keep resting there, keep tuning in and reaching into those connections, because they're so there. And with this being here, it's like, I that, and this, for those of you who have lost a family member, like Capricorn too talked about losing, a matriarch or a patriarch in some way, and the family roles had shifted, and there's, a new reality being explored. And I sense that here too. This could hit on lots of different personal experiences, because all of you are unique beings, right? So with your inner child with the 9 of Pentacles, it's like there's a lot of comfort that your inner child is providing you. So again, this grief process, whatever it may look for you, just a second, kitty girl, don't scratch that. Sorry, Cancer. Whatever this grief process may look like for you, and the loss that you're experiencing, your inner child, I feel, is very much present and you taking great comfort in those things. So I see you close to your, you know, comfort zones. You may be watching shows that you really liked as a kid, or be looking at old pictures. There's lots of, you know, nostalgia and comfort and things. You may be, you know, looking through your things and sorting through your stuff and finding comfort in certain items that you may have not seen for a while, or remembering. You know, some of you may be just really enjoying your own company and your own space. Again, some of you really, you know, may have been going through a breakup that was incredibly challenging relationship, and are, you know, rebalancing and recalibrating and knowing that this is a better outcome, feeling closer to your emotions and feeling more trusting in yourself and your feelings. The King of Cups is, you know, confident in their, you know, and aware of their emotions, curious about their emotions, have a very, you know, sturdy, deep container to house them, to understand them, to let them flow, and as well as others. So I really do sense that for those of you going through a breakup and are experiencing loss and discomfort and grief because of it, and having, there's a certain edge here too. There's a certain like grit, there's a certain fight, and know that it's only leading you great, you know, closer home to yourself, to your emotions, to so you feel more like yourself, be able to show up in your world as yourself, to feel like you can reveal your heart and also have the boundaries of that of the king. Like, there's deep healing here, Cancer, is what I'm trying to say. The devil in your heart space, you're, you know, releasing certain toxic, you know, cycles from your heart space. There's a whole new thing, like you're taking this Five of Swords. That's where I feel that battle, that edge, is that there's things coming up and revealing themselves, you know, with the devil energy in the heart, that are being addressed. You know, a certain container, your cup is being shattered. Your heart may be shattered, and there may be things of the deep bubbling up. Like, I just saw a little, like, a toxic, like, you know, fume. So I just, yeah, like, that's interesting. Sorry, I just didn't really think about that. These, you know, as your heart breaks, these toxic fumes can come out, as well as, yeah. So so let's just focus on that, the toxic fumes, because I keep I can't even fully explain it yet. So maybe I just need a second to, like, let that wash through me, because certain, you know, cycles have come to an end. Certain relationships have come to an end, or endings. And that can come with confrontations of certain parts of oneself that are, like, nasty and challenging. And it's, you know, the devil is not easy energy to deal with, but it's necessary in order to experience the expansion that you probably are experiencing, because you know, you're navigating a new reality, however this, you know, whatever grief you're experiencing and and what happened. But the devil is those things that keep us bound and keep us drained, and You are releasing so much. And for those of you who have lost, a family member, and perhaps, also resonate with Capricorn, that message of stepping into a family role. Family dynamics can be really challenging after, a passing, a death. There can be a lot of back and forth. And I feel that in an internal sense, but I also could, feel and sense that it could be also happening in the external world. And I mean, it all relates, right? We have emotional processes based on the things we experience in the external world, and we can influence the external world by the things that we are experiencing inside, right? So, yeah, I see that this process is really assisting you in deepening your understanding of yourself, of how you feel, and how you show up for yourself and your family. And I see you breaking through certain barriers and blockages in that way. And that can also cause a lot of uncomfort in the grief process as well, because there's new beginnings also with grief. And I sense that you could be really actualizing into your deeper potential and doing things in your own way, taking, if you are stepping into a new role in the family system, or taking on a family heirloom or business, or taking care of a family member in some way. There's a caretaking energy, or there's a stepping into a role kind of energy, and you're doing it in your own way. You're starting to find your own flavor with it. Honoring all the pieces that you value the most, as well as through this grief process, making room for your own unique perspective, either in your life or, in that role, or with that business, or when it comes to displaying that heirloom or whatever. I feel like you're finding your own flavor again, right? You are water energy. This is your energy here in the future. So again, coming back home to self can be a shattering experience at times. And sometimes it feels like a crumble, but it's really all falling into place when it comes to your feelings of home in oneself, right? We can't control, life is raw. We cannot control what happens. And it is so hard to lose loved ones. It's so hard to lose a relationship or a job or any of the things that you may be experiencing. And it can really, those processes can really alienate you away from yourself, because you're in a whole different world, you're in a whole different realm. Sifting through all of that and putting this chaos into order, as it, it's so interesting. And then with the Two of Cups and the blockages, I really feel you, the emotions are big. I know, Cancer, I know. And find your process with allowing them space, a little bit at a time if you need to. Look at this cup is shattering. It's just not big enough for all of the love that you have and all the love that you deserve and will have and do have and are. You are love, Cancer. You deserve to be loved. And I know you love giving love, right? You're cooking up this steak, and it's just a meal for one on this plate. So it's really interesting because I sense you feeding yourself. And through those kind of finding, you know, remembering those little things that you like to do in your family dynamic, your friends, your community. Like, you are such a giver. You know, I do picture you at the grill, grilling up your stuff, your friends and family, you know. You like to prepare things. You know, you are the action and Capricorn is the result. You are the process. You are learning your own unique flavor when it comes to cooking this meal. And with the sense of loss and grief that comes with this reading, it can feel so foreign. But I encourage you to keep going, keep diving deep into yourself, into your healing, putting, you know, your love into the actions of feeding yourself. You're feeding yourself. And grief is a relationship making with your new reality, with a new reality. It's exploring it again and remembering who you are in it, discovering new things about yourself, letting go of old things, all of that. So I hope that this helps in some way. Like, I really send you so much love and so much warmth, and I hope you feel this. I want to put a warm, soft blanket around your shoulders, Cancer. You're doing a good job, okay? I know that this hurts. Keep taking refuge in, I heard, the harvest, sharing it with the people that you love, the people that you trust, the people that, yeah. And keeping your own company, enjoying your own company, doing things that are led by the inner child. This is the stuff that is very much helping this process, because healing doesn't always have to look a certain way. It's dynamic, just like you. And the more you take these, 5 swords to these spaces that you're, cutting the tethers away, clearing the brambles, the heart energy will flow, the love will flow again. You have that over here with just like a little like shelter over the flame, it seems, even though it's water energy, or just like your little, it's just over here, just tucked, because there's so much else going on. But don't forget your love, that you are loved, that you are loved. Okay, how many did we got here? It's too many. Okay, Cancer. I'm proud of you for really, doing a lot of internal recalibration, and it's really a courageous, intense work to roll with change, because that's what the Death card is, natural change. Okay. All right, so we got 2. So we got Power of the Divine Masculine and the 5th Ray of Intellectual Knowledge. Some of you, this may be a big, like, death of a chapter. I mean, for all of you in some way, right? Like that, I try to keep these as deep yet, accessible as I can, because again, you're your own unique people. But this is a massive end to a chapter in some way, and stepping into this one step at a time. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, power of the divine masculine. Oops. An empowering energy seeks expression from within. It wishes to free you from confusion, paralysis, and stagnancy. It seeks to stir you into consciously chosen action, greater discipline, and focus. It's time to end the frustration of repeating old patterns. You're ready to break through into a new way of life. Feel inspired, be energized, and focus on your dreams and desires. Take steps to manifest them on the physical plane. Believe your success is inevitable. Yes, what a perfect way to summarize this energy. And I really feel like it's important to say that it's okay to feel a certain, like, I just keep hearing, don't feel guilty. Okay, don't feel guilty. An empowering energy seeks expression from within. Connecting to your own power, your own action, your intentions, your focus. It's hard with grief, right? These are the parts that can become a little bit wayward, and calling your power back to you is such an intense and cathartic process. It seeks to stir you into consciously chosen action, greater discipline, and focus. It's time to end the frustration of repeating old patterns. Yes, that's really big in your energy, Cancer. You're done with repeating patterns, ready to cut loose, turn around, roar at them, integrate them, release them, whatever you find is important when you're coming up against these old patterns and finding what to do. And sometimes stepping out on your own is very challenging, especially if it comes to a relationship breakdown. Like, keep trusting yourself. If you are feeling more and more like your healthiest, authentic self, believe your success is inevitable. Take steps to manifest them on the physical plane. Feel inspired, be energized, and focus on your dreams and desires. Yes, shattering through this limiting container. Psh. Okay, so 42. Fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. The fifth ray of intellectual knowledge has come to you as a spiritual gift. You are being given the ability to find information you need, understand systems that impact your life, and find clarity in any issue that has seemed unclear or overwhelming. You shall sort through the truth from the lies and learn what you need to know. The Archangel Raphael now assists you in integrating the blessings of the fifth ray. Wow. So yeah, I sense there's a grit in your energy too, Cancer, and this is a really wonderful way to summarize this reading, and I hope that it's helpful to you and you feel seen by it, validated in some way by this energy I'm reflecting. Right, there's this like sense I see of like this chaos, and then finding your order within it, bringing it together. Things crumble, certain other things fall into place. The fifth ray of intellectual knowledge has come to you as a spiritual gift. You are being given the ability to find information you need, understand systems that impact your life, and find clarity in any issue that has seemed unclear or overwhelming. You shall sort through the truth from the lies and learn what you need to know. Again, it all comes back to this like King of Cups shattering this glass. Like, beautiful, beautiful reading, Cancer. I know it may not feel beautiful, and I hope it doesn't come off the wrong way. I just feel like your spirit is beautiful, and I want to reflect that to you as you keep navigating this. If this kind of energy resonates with you in any way, keep taking comfort in you and your inner child, finding things that bring you joy, create that flow. I love you very much, and I send so many blessings out to you.